right. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Red Pill Investor. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I really appreciate it. So today we're going to have a great time. Got lots of good stuff to go ahead and cover. Let me go ahead and close just a couple windows here to make sure that we won't have any interruptions whatsoever. If you're joining me here for the very first time, thank you so much. Again, my name's Carl Krenzel. You can join me here every day, prospecting here live at my YouTube channel at Sell More Homes Now. Or if you can't make it live, you can certainly always listen to it at the podcast at theredpillinvestor.com. That's theredpillinvestor.com. You can go there. You'll find well over 500 episodes. Only a few of them now are actually live prospecting like this one is, but many of them are sales skills directed towards realtors and wholesalers and real estate investors, people who are just trying to improve their sales skills. And so we go over a lot of that: presentation skills, scripting, objection handling, things like that we cover in the podcast. Definitely would recommend you check that out. Highly encourage you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ensure that you make sure that you press the like button if you think that you've learned anything. Share this with somebody if you think that you learned something here today. So today what we're going to cover is OpenDoor. Many of you are already familiar with them as a company. They're ending up laying off 50 people. We're going to talk about that, why they did it, where over 300 of their new employees are scheduled to go. And then we're going to talk about the Dallas real estate market. We're going to talk about why that's slowing down and how that affects you as a practitioner wherever you are in the United States. Because if you're like me, you're a real estate agent or a broker here in the United States, chances are you like to invest. And if you like to invest, well, then these things are going to affect your business and you're going to want to know about them. So we're going to definitely cover those as well. Finally, of course, if we have time, we're going to go ahead and cover a little bit of a confusing story to me. It was the 13 reasons why the U.S. real estate market is stronger than you think. And this was put out by the good folks over at Yahoo News. So we'll go over them if we have time and see what you happen to think about that. So let's go ahead. I've got my phone ready to prospect. Everything's dialed in and ready to go. If you've got your prospecting systems, hopefully you're ready to get prospecting as well. Let's go ahead, take this to the Lord in prayer and get this day started off correctly. Father, we appreciate this day. Lord, we are so grateful. Lord, we're humbled in your presence, all the great things that you have done for us and all the great things you're about to do. God, we just praise you and we're grateful and we're hoping that we might be able to slip into your will. Lord, use us as tools for the completion of your will. That way your will would be done on this earth as it is in heaven. Father, we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, let's press start. This is absolutely, undeniably one of my favorite parts of the day. Now, I recognize that many times you guys don't always hear the calls that come in. What happens many times after we get done prospecting, as you know, I leave a lot of messages and people will call back and they'll say, well, gosh, you know, I had seen that you had called. What can I help you with? And so a lot of times I'll set appointments after the fact. I did get an appointment last night at 8:45 at night. I had a fellow, I want to say whoever it is in the podcast or even here on YouTube, watching here in Tucson, that referred him to me. You know who you are. I got a referral late last. Hello. Hi, Jesus.
Hello.
Hi, Jesus.
Yes, it's me.
Oh, hi, Jesus. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Very well.
I was calling about your house that was for sale at 4601 29th Street. Am I calling the right number?
I don't know where you got the number.
Oh, well, do you happen to have a house for sale on 29th Street? Have I got the right place?
It's listed already.
I'm sorry?
It's listed already.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it looked like it came up as an expired listing today. Did you relist it with somebody?
It's listed.
Huh. Okay.
You want me? You have an interest in the house?
Yeah, I see it right here, but it looks like it came up as an expired listing. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yes, you knew it came up as an expired listing? It's okay, Jesus. It sounds like we might not be understanding each other. Don't worry about it. Have a great day. Take care. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang up on that that particular lead. Okay. Look, I'm looking at the house right here, and I know exactly where the house is, and I'm not going to lose my. I'm not going to cry if I don't get that particular property, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put down that it's not interested, and then it's just I'm just going to delete it. That way, I don't even have to worry about it.
At the tone, please record your message to.
So anyway, I want to say thank you to whoever it was who's watching here in the Tucson market. I know many realtors watch. I know many investors watch here in Tucson, and I'm very.
Oh, thanks for calling Andy McEldown and Tucson Insurance Associates. I can't take your call right now.
That's not what I wanted.
I'll call you back as soon as possible. And if you've been referred to me, please let me know who it's.
That is the wrong number there. Let's see, delete that. Don't count that as a contact. And what we're going to do is skip past this fellow right here. All right, good. So anyway, thank you, right? Thank you to whoever it was here in Tucson. I don't know who it was that referred him to me yesterday. He had a property over here in Tucson over there on Scarlet. So you apparently told him to call me because you felt that you'd heard about it on YouTube and saw me prospecting, knowing that I buy property here in Tucson. So thank you for sending that referral my way. I will take good care of that person. I'm going to be meeting with him today at 2:00 today. So again, thank you for your referrals. If you're a realtor listening to this podcast, if you've got a referral to the Tucson area, you've got some clients, customers that are looking to buy in the area or sell, certainly I'm able to help you with that. If you've got a wholesale question or a real estate investing question, feel free to reach out to me. Brenda?
Please leave your message for 951.
Feel free to go ahead and reach out to me. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, good morning. This is Carl. How are you today?
Oh, I'm dandy. How are you?
I am better than I deserve. Thank you. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I was looking for Martina. Is this Martina Dice?
No, you called Angie.
Oh,
Angela.
gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Well, I was actually, I'm a broker here in town calling about a property that was for sale at 13755 Camino Cartamo. Do you know anything about that property?
That's my old house.
Oh, that's your old house. Interesting. Gosh. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. Well, then I got the wrong number then. All right. Well,
No,
listen.
that's okay. I've gotten a lot of calls on that. I don't know why.
Yeah, it looks like it was just recently on the market, and it looks like it didn't sell, and so people are probably just calling about it. Okay. Well, no worries. I apologize, Angela. Since I've got you here anyway, do you happen to know anybody who has an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No, everybody I know is happy here.
No problem. Well, I appreciate your time, and you make sure you stay out of the heat today, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right, and resume. So let's talk about OpenDoor, right? This story comes to us today. OpenDoor lays off 50 and asks hundreds to relocate. Right? It says this is from Housing Wire. This is published yesterday, July 1st, by Jessica Guerin. Says that OpenDoor lays off 50, asks hundreds to relocate to Phoenix. They make plans to beef up their Arizona headquarters.
Hello?
Hi, good morning. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Carl who?
No problem. My name is Carl Carl Krenzel. I might have the wrong number. I apologize. I was actually looking for the Mixons. They own some property over there on Gallery Place. Have I got the right place?
Try looking up Grade Sellers in Calistoga. They sold this house, so we're the new owners. But they
Oh,
live
you
up
are?
in Calistoga now.
Oh, well, hallelujah. Well, good for you. You bought the house over there on Gallery?
I need to go.
Oh, well, congratulations. Well, listen, you have a great day, okay? Thank you. Right. So, sold. Boom. All right. So what we're going to do is delete that lead. Delete. There we go. And resume. Okay, boom. Sometimes that'll happen where they will sell it for sale by owner. It'll be expired or canceled, and then they'll sell it the next day or two or something like that to somebody else. Who knows? Or maybe in this case, this is a little bit of an older lead. Not entirely sure what that particular circumstance was. But anyway, dialing 3 at a time, going through all the expireds that I've got, all the canceled listings I have. There's, I think, a total of 74 numbers. There was like a 42 prospects, I want to say. So we had 74 numbers. We're dialing 3 at a time. We've dialed through 21 leads so far. We've made 37 calls, and we've been on the phone for 11 minutes. I mean, you can clearly see the power of an auto dialer. If you're sitting there dialing for dollars, at all, then you've got to have an auto dialer. That's just simply a must. And when you think about it,
Hi, you've reached Frank Coast with Whole Foods Market. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks and have a great day.
Oh, here we go.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
So I think I've already left a message with him before. Okay, let's see. OpenDoor lays off 50, asks hundreds. Yeah, so it's been a banner year for OpenDoor as a digital real estate disruptor continued to rake in serious investor cash, earning a valuation of $3.8 billion, right? But apparently, with all that cash comes growth, and that often leads to change, the article says. Sources close to the company told Bloomberg that OpenDoor laid off 50 of its 1,300 employees last month, and that it has asked as many as 300 working in offices around the country to relocate to its Phoenix headquarters. According to Bloomberg, those employees have 6 to 9 months to decide whether they want to make the move or leave the company. An OpenDoor spokesperson told Housing Wire the move is part of an effort to restructure its Phoenix operations. Over the next year, quote, OpenDoor will relocate a number of operational positions from our offices around the country to Phoenix, the OpenDoor spokesman said. He continued, by streamlining operations in our Phoenix office, we will be able to provide an even better experience for our customers. Now, I want to pause in the article right there for a moment and just have you think about the implication of what
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
think about the implication of what's going on, right? A few weeks ago, maybe not even a few weeks, maybe a week ago, maybe 2 at the most. I don't know. It wasn't too many podcasts ago. We were talking about here in Arizona, the PropTech bill that had been passed, the PropTech Sandbox bill that had been passed by Governor Ducey. A lot of people in the real estate community, realtors and whatnot, were a little bit concerned because what this allows then is this allows companies like OpenDoor and other iBuyers to operate in Arizona with relaxed.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl. How are you today?
Good.
I'm not sure if I've got the right person, so I apologize in advance. I was actually looking for the Sansoms. They own some property over there on Spring Canyon. Is that your property?
Let me. I can't hear you. Let me go to.
Oh, I
another room.
apologize. Is that better if I
Okay.
speak up? Is that a little bit better
Let's
for you?
start over.
No problem.
Yeah. Who are
Yes,
who
ma'am.
are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. My name is Carl Krenzel. I'm a broker here in Tucson at Sotheby's International Realty. I was calling about a property that was owned on Spring Canyon Place by the Sansoms. Is that your property, ma'am?
Yeah, we own, that takes me back. We own that in 2002 to 2004 of April.
Okay, no problem. Well, then I got the right person, but the wrong time. Okay.
Is it up on the market again?
Yeah, no problem. All right, well, that's okay. Well, listen, since I've got you anyway, do you happen to know of anybody here in Tucson who has an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
I don't.
No problem.
No, we're up in Sierra Vista now.
Oh, well, God bless you. All right, well, good deal. Well, listen, you take care. And
we're getting ready to buy a home in Rancho Sahuarita.
Oh, wow. Well, when are you guys moving over there?
Hopefully by the end of the month.
Oh, no kidding. Did you already find a place?
Yes.
Oh, good for you. What part of Rancho Sahuarita did you end up buying?
Del Webb.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Okay. All right. Well, that sounds like a good choice.
We loved that area on Spring Canyon.
Mm-hmm. Well,
what is it going for now?
Well, that one they were at the time. Let me just take a quick look here. It was on the market here just recently, and I want to say, let's see if I can get my screen to cooperate with me here real quick.
Yeah, I hear you in the morning.
360,000 is what they were asking for it. Well, 359.9. So, yeah, they didn't quite.
And we sold it back in 2004 for 346.
Yeah, they didn't get.
Gone up that much.
No, well, they didn't get that price. They were asking that, and it didn't sell. And so that's probably why a lot of people are calling. So, okay, well, listen, I appreciate you giving me the feedback on that and being a good sport about it. Okay.
Oh, sure.
You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye-bye. Okay. So, that's one thing I have to admit I really like. The Red X phone numbers are accurate, even down to hello.
Call has been forwarded to an automated voice.
Even down
system.
to
5.
Having the owners from the home a few years ago. I mean, it's still pretty accurate. I mean, you got people. I mean, you got cousins, and I mean, you got all kinds of people who are related to them. I mean, it's rare sometimes when you're calling it expireds or for sale by owners.
Hello, no one is available to take your call.
To have any kind of situation where they don't know at all who you're talking about or at the property. Now, if you're doing cold calls or something, then yeah, that's possible. If you're doing like just listed, just solds, yeah, that's possible. But when it comes to expireds and cancels, I mean, they get and for sale by owners and all that, they get down to like the nitty gritty of who is the owner. I mean, they got all kinds of ways to get to people. So it's scary. Hello.
Please leave your message for 520.
All right, so let's get back into this Sandbox this Sandbox issue here in Arizona. So essentially, what had happened, if you didn't hear that podcast or see that video that I'd made, essentially what had happened was here in Arizona, Governor Ducey recently, I want to say the end of May, June, maybe the first part of May, I'm not sure, somewhere around there, ended up signing into law the property technology sandbox bill, which allowed companies like OpenDoor, these iBuyer companies, Zillow, Redfin, places like that, to operate with a little bit. I mean, they still have regulation, but they have more freedom within the financial and regulatory issues to go ahead and try, if you will, to go ahead and streamline the real estate and financial industry, right? Now let's get back into the story. It says that over the next year, OpenDoor is going to relocate a number of these operational positions back into Phoenix, right? So they can go ahead and provide a better experience. Right now, it says last month, the Wall Street Journal published a story in the iBuyer market calling Phoenix, quote, a petri dish for companies using computer models to buy and sell homes at a profit. Well, I would certainly call Phoenix a petri dish. I'm from Tucson. I got no love for Phoenix. That's for sure. For sure. I'd call them a petri dish for different reasons. But I mean, I get it. I mean, that's just rivalry. But I mean, realistically speaking, I mean, Phoenix is a good place for this kind of activity, for iBuyers to come in and for them to test out their their wares, if you will, right? According to the article, Phoenix, quote, is an ideal proving ground because it's one of the country's fastest growing metro areas. Plus, the houses are relatively inexpensive and homogeneous, which helps the algorithmic appraisals that help the high-tech flippers to spot opportunities for profit. Okay, there's a lot of words being thrown in this paragraph that I think we need to unpack. Okay, first, Phoenix being an ideal proving ground. Okay, I'd buy that. It is a fast-growing metro area, and the houses are relatively inexpensive and homogeneous in comparison to many other places across the United States. If you go back east, I mean Baltimore, South Carolina, Destin, Florida, Fort Walton Beach, Portsmouth, Virginia, Charleston, Charlotte. I mean, all these East Coast places, they've got some way different ways of approaching building standards, what is allowable. The West Coast, okay, LA, Portland, Oregon, San Diego, Sacramento, San Francisco, all these West Coast man, you can't even talk about it being an affordable alternative. You can't really find it that way. And so, you know, they had to find a place where you had some homogeneity as well as some inexpensiveness to where the computer model is going to work. They said, you know, plus the houses are relatively inexpensive, that's one, and homogeneous, which is two, which what helps the algorithmic appraisals that help the high-tech flippers to spot opportunities for profit. So if you're a broker, if you're an investor and you're getting whooped by open door offers and things of that nature, and you're looking at this and you're saying, well, wait a minute, I live in a marketplace that has inexpensive properties that are homogeneous. Well, guess what? You're going to find yourself having problems if iBuyers like OpenDoor, Zillow, Redfins, and whatnot, if they start to become, pretty predominant, which it looks like they will. Well, and if you're trying to make money in that marketplace, you could have a serious problem. OpenDoor, which I'm going to go back to the article here, says OpenDoor, which launched in 2014, is a number of these so-called iBuyers that have set out to change the way Americans buy and sell homes by whittling the process down to a few simple online transactions. Now, in case you've not worked with OpenDoor before, or you've not heard of them, okay, or you've not had a lot of experience with that in your marketplace yet, basically it says home sellers can sell their home to OpenDoor through an online exchange. And the company, in turn, will assess the home, decipher an appropriate offer, and sell the home to a buyer. The concept is to eliminate the pain points associated with the home selling process, and the idea appears to be resonating. The key, it says, to OpenDoor's business strategy is its data modeling, which enables to locate gaps and opportunities in certain markets and create optimal pricing for the homes it's selling. Now, listen to what I just told you. The key to OpenDoor's business strategy is its what? Data modeling. Is the key to OpenDoor's business strategy going around and making lowball offers by the hundreds? No. Is OpenDoor's business strategy advertising until the cows come home, trying to find any and every buyer or seller? No. OpenDoor's business strategy key is its data modeling. It's watching the data. It's looking at what's going on in the marketplace. Now, they use algorithms, homogeneity in property and inexpensive in property makes it easy to buy a lot of homes cheaply and do the same thing with the same house over and over and over again. You buy the same Del Webb, you buy the same KB, you buy the same name builder, right? Buy all those little bitty homes like it's going to be easy for you to modernize and streamline that process. Their key is data modeling, knowing the market, which enables it to locate gaps and opportunities in certain markets and create optimal pricing for the homes it's selling. What is it that you're supposed to be doing? If you're a real estate agent and you're a wholesaler and you're a real estate investor, or you're all three, is that not really your job? I mean, with all the stress, the crying and the bitching I hear about how OpenDoor and Zillow and Redfin is going to close you out of the game and shut down your business and make life horrible for you, and yet you won't take a couple moments to look and analyze the market that you're in so you can see what do we always call it? Mistakes and motivation. Right? M&Ms. If you've been listening to the podcast for any period of time, if you've been watching me on YouTube or Sell More Homes Now, or listen to the podcast, if you've been listening to me talk about buying and flipping MLS homes, if you've been listening to anything I've been telling you, I'm always telling you, right? Always telling you, be looking for mistakes and motivation. What are the things in the multiple listing service where the agent made a mistake on? Was it the zoning? Was it the square footage? Was it really a 3-bedroom and you went out to the house and it turned out to be a 4-bedroom? It's supposed to be a 3-bedroom according to the multiple listing service, but you went out there, looked at it, turns out, it's a 4-bedroom. Mistakes, right? Motivation. What's the motivation of a seller? I've had sellers, you've heard me tell you before, sellers say, gosh, the next person that comes through the house and makes us an offer, we're going to accept it. Even if it's a low offer, we're going to accept it because we're tired of having people come in and out of our house. We're done. Bless God, let me know when people like that come available, right? I mean, wouldn't we all like to have that kind of skill? And here it is that OpenDoor, is doing the same thing. Now, by the way, in my little rant here, we've completed all of the expires. Now we're going to jump right now into the for rent by owners. So if you hear the phone ringing off, that's what that is. It's for rent by owners we're picking up right now. We've got a total of 28 of them. Let's see. Yeah. So we're going to call them up right now, 3 at a time. Let's see what happens. But yeah, OpenDoor, they're going out and they use computer modeling and algorithms to determine gaps and opportunities. What do they call gaps and opportunities? Mistakes and motivation. That's what I call it. Okay. What you need to do is go in the marketplace in your multiple listing service. And right now, what I'm doing, calling the red X, calling expired listings, calling canceled listings, because there's people out there right now. Hey, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Good.
Hey, I'm not sure if I've got the right place. I was calling about that rental you had listed online. Is that still available?
Yeah. Yep, that's the right place.
Okay, good deal. I'm a little bit confused. Have you got a second to talk about it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm a broker here in town who buys property, invests in them myself, and I see that it says 2124 East Helen Street, number 2. Is that a duplex, triplex? Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's a front house, back house. Front house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Back house is a 1-by-1.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Okay.
Right now, I've got a couple buddies living in the front house, and I'm living in the back house, trying to rent that out and move over to the front house.
I understand. Okay, no problem. I'm curious. Did you buy that property as an investment property, or did you kind of end up as it sort of through circumstance?
A little bit of both. So I was actually buying it because, one, I need a place to live. 2, one day it will be an investment property when I'm not living there.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other rental properties at all?
Nope, not at the moment. That was the first one, and that started about a month ago.
Okay. Huh. All right. I'm wondering, have you? When was the last time you had like a market analysis on that property to see what it's worth?
About a month ago when I bought it.
Oh, okay. You bought it about a month ago. Holy cow. You're just first time around with it then. Oh, well, good for you. Okay.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well, listen, since I got you here anyway, do you know of anybody else who's got an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
Not at the moment. I'm a recent grad, so most of my friends don't even have properties yet. So.
No worries. No worries. Well, listen, good luck for you and stay out of that heat today, okay?
Oh, yep. Thank you.
Have a great one. Take care.
You have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, so I chose to not deal any further with him simply because he had only owned that property for less than a year. So that's not a lead, really. Doesn't have a hello.
Hello.
Oh, hi. My name's Carl.
Yeah.
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's going well, thanks. I was calling about that rental you had listed online. Is that still available?
Actually, no. I just got somebody in there. We took it off the list. Is it still on Zillow?
Oh no, I just got an old copy of it. So okay, no problem. Well, listen, I appreciate it. Do you happen to know of anybody else who has an unwanted property that I could buy for cash?
Oh, you want to buy?
Yeah. You know anybody who's got an unwanted home I could buy? I was thinking maybe if you were going to rent that place out. No, I know, right? I was thinking that maybe I'd call you about that place, but it looks like you rented it out, and it's all right.
Actually, I had it on the market.
Okay.
And then we decided not to just because it was just turning to be not worth it. So that's the reason why. But,
I understand.
Yeah, I don't. But actually, now that I have you on my list here, my friend usually buys some houses and turns around and sells them. So,
Okay.
I can give him your number if he has any.
Yeah, please. Feel free to. My name's Carl. I've been in town.
Carl?
Yeah, Carl, Karl. Yeah, I've been here in town here for over 20 years, buying up property, working with buyers and sellers and investors. I'm a broker here in town, so yeah, I'd be happy to help him if he's got a property that he's wanting to get rid of.
Oh, awesome! And you help and you sell your properties too, you said?
Yeah, I'm a real estate broker over at Sotheby's International, but I also buy and sell properties on my own, and for myself.
I'm gonna keep your number, man. You know what? I'm gonna keep your number because we're actually gonna be looking at buying some property ourselves. We want to sell this one, but we're gonna actually buy some land or something, or maybe another rental property near the
Oh yeah, definitely give me a call because I know. I mean, I'm out on the phone all day, 2-3 hours a day, calling people, who've got homes for sale or around homes that I've bought. I mean, I'm always talking to people, and I got people just like you. They're like, oh, you know what? Hey, I got this house here, but I got this other house that's going to be coming up in the next month or so. So I'm always kind of finding out about off-market stuff. So yeah, we'll hook up. Let me know.
Yeah, man, that'd be great. So I'm gonna keep your number. I'll reach out to you as soon as I get something, or I know something, or someone's interested. So yeah, I'll keep your number. I'll give it to my buddy too. So I'll give him a heads up and I'll forward it to him. So if he has anything, he can give you a shot.
Appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to send this guy again. This is a really legit example of what I've been talking about. Okay. With this whole presentation. If you're on YouTube, take a look at your screen right here. I know many of you put me on the background while you're prospecting. Take a look at this right here. So you'll see that I put it in my notes section on my phone. And I just simply copy this here, right? And then what I do is I just go straight over to the text, his phone number right here. And we're just going to text him a real fast, hey, blah, blah, blah. We just met. Here's my number. Keep it handy. This tells you I'm legit, etc. Right? So what we're doing is we're just putting his number in here right there. We're pressing paste and press send. So as you can see here in YouTube, right? On my cell phone, you'll see that it says, hi, Carl Krenzel here. Just wanted to send you my cell phone number and a link to let you know I'm legit. And it's got a little link in there that goes straight to that Prezi presentation, talks about me being a buyer, how I buy property, how I pay all cash, take it as is. That way, there's no questions for them as far as what they need to do. And again, thank you for whoever's listening to this message right now here in Tucson and writing that down, because I just got an appointment yesterday from doing this type of procedure. Hello? Oh, hi, Mr. Zhang.
Hello.
Hi, I'm not sure if I've got the right place. I was looking about that property that was for rent on Waterway.
The house is gone.
The house is what?
It's gone.
Oh, it's gone. Oh, okay, no problem. Hey, do you have any other property or know anybody who's got a property I could buy for cash?
I'm not sure.
Okay, no problem. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. Because what happens then, right? When you prospect, now here's the thing: a lot of people, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of people who say that prospecting doesn't work. Look, is the prospecting I'm doing today, is it as productive as it was when I did it, say, I don't know, 5-10 years ago?
Hello.
The answer.
Say your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to.
The answer to that is no. That's clearly not the case. People obviously have Google Voice to screen their things, or they have a lot of different ways to block the message or call. However, there is something to be said in the sense that there aren't as many people who call. Okay, so here, think this through. Okay, I know this is going to be counterintuitive and you're just going to think I'm lying to you, but it's true. Okay, so get this. Back in the day, all right,
Hi, this is Tyrus with Capture.
Maybe
give me your name and number, and I'll get back to you.
I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, let's say, right?
At the tone.
When people would prospect.
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and go.
When people would prospect, I mean, this was the way you did it, because the only way you could get a prospect, right?
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
You could mail somebody. You could call somebody. You could knock on the door. Or you could run an ad in the paper, right? And the reason why I bring this up is so that you'll have some perspective in your life, right? Hello?
Hi, this is Keith. Sorry I missed you, but please leave your name and...
You have a little bit of perspective, right? So, for example, when I first started 20-something years ago, okay, you could either call people, knock on the door, send them something in the mail, or run an ad that they would see in the paper or something like that, right? That's your choices, okay? And back then, everybody would call because many people would call. Simply, now we called through all the for rent by owners. We're all done with those. So the point is that many people would start off calling because they didn't have the money to pay for ads, and they didn't have the time to wait in open houses or for a mailer. And so what they would do many times is they would call for sale by owners, they would call expireds, and that's what you did when you were starting out, because that's the only thing people did. That's what you did. It's how you, I mean, not too many people ran an image type business because you just didn't have money for it. And you certainly couldn't run Facebook ads or any of this other stuff because they didn't exist, right? Fast forward 20 years later, and very few people call. Why? Because most people prefer to run an ad. They can run a Facebook ad very cheaply. And I'm not saying you shouldn't run a Facebook ad. Facebook ads certainly a good thing. I run them. But I do think that when you're starting to talk about your attention and your time, you need to find a way, for example, for your calling to last. And how you can make it last is when you're talking to other people and they're like, well, gosh, I don't know anybody, but I got a friend or this or that or the other. Okay. well, then you can just start to develop strategies like, for example, this presentation that I use. You put that right in their hands, and then you've created another, yes, it's weak, okay, but it's a center of influence, a telephone center of influence. You can call on them every now and again, follow up with them, see how they're doing. Hey, we talked a couple weeks back, a month or two ago, whatever. You mentioned that you might have a friend in the business. Just wanted to follow up with you, let you know I'm still in the business. By the way, do you know of anybody else who's looking to buy or sell? I mean, that's one possibility. Another possibility is going through all the investors. If you're going through all the investors in your absentee owner list, let's say, absentee owners, people who own property in your county, but they rent it out, they live in another place, right? You can find that through your title company, your escrow company. They can give you that information. Find out who those people are. You can call through them. Say, hey,
you have reached the voicemail box of 520.
You can say, hey, guess what? I noticed you had a property here in town. I was just calling to see if you'd ever considered selling it, or when was the last time you had somebody, give you an idea of what a market buyer would pay for it. The only reason why somebody wants to know what their home is going to sell for is if they have any interest in selling it, right? And that's exactly where OpenDoor and Zillow and Redfin are going with this. Here in Arizona, okay, if you're in Phoenix, okay. Hello?
Thank you for calling. You've reached Charlotte's voicemail.
If you're up in Phoenix, okay, listen to this podcast, watching this video, okay, you're going to have to experience a brunt of this. Okay, you're going to be the brunt of this because Arizona is where all these places are going to test their material. If you're a realtor in this area, in that area, you need to get exceptionally, hello?
Please leave your message.
You need to get exceptionally well versed in OpenDoor and ZBuyer and what they can offer, right? And understand that many times, even OpenDoor, for example, they have a 6% commission. We went over that on a previous podcast. You might want to go back a couple podcasts when we started talking about OpenDoor and their 6% commission. And then, they come out and they make an offer, and then they do an inspection, and then they act just like we do. I mean, they tear them up on the inspection, trying to get that price down, right? So OpenDoor laying off 50 people, trying to bring in 300 into the Phoenix area. Good luck to them. I mean, Phoenix is certainly. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, good morning. This is Carl. How are you today? Hello?
Carl from who?
Yeah, no problem. I'm not sure if I have the right place. I apologize. My name's Carl Krenzel. I was calling about that house that was for sale over there at 8504 East Sarnoff Ridge Loop. Have I got the right place?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Have I got the Smythe residence? Robert Smythe?
I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am. Do I have the Smythe residence? Robert Smythe residence? Smith, perhaps?
No, you don't.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Do you know anything about them or that property at all? Or am I just like way off base?
Yeah, all in a very different area of
oh gosh.
Tucson.
Okay, well, I apologize. Well, listen, sorry for the wrong number then. Since I got you anyway, do you know anybody who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
No problem. Well, listen, I apologize for the wrong number, and you have a wonderful day, okay?
Okay, you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right. Let's move over to the next story. Next story comes to us. This is, oh boy, don't get scared. The Dallas real estate market has cooled off. Oh boy, don't panic, right? This is the headline. The Dallas.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. The mailbox belonging to
Decrypt.
Okay, no answer. Resume. There we go. So, hang on just a minute. I had to press resume. There we go. Is this resuming or what? Resume. There we go. Perfect. All right. So This comes to us from Dallas, DallasMagazine.com, right? Written by Joseph Guinto.
Hi, you reached Savannah. I'm not here right now, but leave a message and I'll call you back.
Let me read this. Let me read this article to you a little bit, because this is going to be something that's going to sound familiar to you, right? You're a real estate agent. Okay, this is going to sound extraordinarily familiar to you. So tell me at what point I need to stop, because you're going to want to hear this. It says Mike and Tracy Vogt, I guess, are not getting back into the Dallas housing market anytime soon. Mike and Tracy are not getting back into the Dallas housing market anytime soon. And who can blame them? It took months of constant...
Hello. Please state your name after the tone, and Google Voice will try to connect you.
Took months, it said. Right? Press resume. Took months of constant searching for the couple to find their... Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi. This is Carl. How are you today?
Hi.
Is Thomas available?
Who?
I was looking for Thomas Stam. Have I got the right place?
No, you're far away.
Oh, gosh. Okay. I was calling about a property that was for sale at 2852 Darley Woods Drive. Am I calling the right number?
No.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Do you know anything about him or that property? Am I just completely off base?
I have no idea.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry. All right. Well, listen, since I got you here anyway, I apologize for the wrong number. Do you know of... People think they're so cute. Let's see here. All right. Boom. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to pause this so we can read this
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message
without
system.
interruption.
5203.
No answer. I'm going to pause that dial for just a minute so we can read through this story, because I want you to hear this story. This story is incredible, right? And it's incredible because it's painful. It's painful because it's true. And it's true because you know just as well as I do that this is going on in your marketplace. Okay, it looks like the dialer has stopped. It said Mike and Tracy Vogel are not getting back into the Dallas housing market anytime soon. And who can blame them? It took months of constant searching for the couple to find their far north Dallas home back in 2013. That year, the local residential property market was the hottest it had ever been. Cash offers were being made for homes all over the area. Prices soared higher by the day. Supply was limited, and demand seemed endless. That meant that the Vogels had to drag their 3 boys to multiple open houses on the weekends and face disappointment as they lost out on the first 6 houses they bid on. Oh, holy cow. Amen. Can you stop for just a minute and give respect to the agent who represented them? I mean, respect to that agent. I mean, you went out and you showed them properties and you lost out on 6 different offers. Holy cow. Finally, it says they landed on a 4-bedroom, 4-bath place near Brentfield Elementary. As the Dallas housing market has stayed hot in the years since, Vogel's house has appreciated significantly, even though the only major change they've made was putting in the pool. But something else has changed in the Vogels neighborhood. For sale signs are standing on the lawns a lot longer than they used to. Quote, the housing market around us feels like it's slowing down a bit, says Mike, an architect with Dallas's 5G studio. Quote, we're seeing houses sitting on the market for a long time now, for months even, and that didn't happen years ago. You know, I want to take a side note here, right here, to just outline how critical a point this is for you as a realtor or as an investor or as a real estate investor who's buying, flipping properties and holding them to sell. You've got to get this really, really ingrained in your thinking. Okay. This buyer, Mike Vogel, right, is spitting what is in the mindset of most of the buyers across the nation right now. The housing market around us feels, right? Feels like it's slowing down a bit. Okay. People are going by what? Feelings. Okay. People do not operate by their mind, they operate by their feels. Okay. And they're not dumb. When they look around the marketplace and they see all around them, all the signs going up and staying up and not selling, well, then they start to put two and two together. Let's continue with the article. It says, in fact, the average days on market for a house in North Texas is now 53 days. It's the highest it's been since the Vogels bought theirs. Okay, time out real fast. When did the Vogels, if you can remember, when did the Vogels buy their property? Do you recall? 2013. 6 years ago. 6 years ago. Now, the reporter for the Dallas Magazine, okay, whatever his name is, Joseph Guinto, right? He's writing that the average days on market in North Texas is now 53, the highest it's been since they bought their home in 6 years. And that's just one of the many signs that a once white-hot Dallas market has finally begun to cool down. When you look at a market that has an average days on market of 53 days on market, and then you look at that and you say, that's a cooling market. You know what that says to me? That says to me that you've been spoiled. You've been spoiled. You've been spoiled. Let me repeat that. Hello? Is this thing on? You've been spoiled. Okay? This is exactly what I'm talking about. This market that you're experiencing today is not normal. This is not normal. I'm trying not to scream in the microphone because I don't want to blow out the speakers in your car when you're listening to this. This market is not normal, okay? You can't have sustained growth, 40, 30, 40 days on the market, boom, 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 people, prices going up. That's not rational. Doesn't go on all the time. And now you got the Vogels starting to recognize this. The article continues, strength in numbers. Don't panic, right? Thankfully, the man is smart enough to read this article and smart to put this in context, right? He says, do not panic. This is not a bust. This is not a crash. If you're a homeowner in the Dallas area, you will not have to start making your belt out of cardboard. Okay, prices overall are still increasing. The first quarter home prices in North Texas increased 1.4% over their level in 2018. Okay, it increased 1%, 1.4% in 1 year. Now read what that I'm going to read right from the article to you. Okay, I added that little bit because I wanted to make sure you got it. The first quarter home prices in North Texas increased 1.4% overall, over their level in 2018, according to the NAR. That was the smallest price gain in the area since, anybody want to take a guess? 2011. Uh-oh. What's that, 7-8 years ago? What have we been saying for the last week after week after week after week? The prices have been jumping and jumping and jumping and going up and up and up and up and up. And then what? This first quarter, they peaked over just a little bit. And in North Texas, they just only went up 1.4%. It's the smallest amount that it's ever gone up in the past, 8 years. So the median sales price, home price in North Texas then was $150,000. This is in 2011, 8 years ago. The median sales price of a home in 2011, North Texas, $150,000. Today, $254,300. That's beyond comprehension. 8 years ago, a property was worth $150,000. Today, $254,300. So the article continues, if area prices increases have slowed, does that mean 254.3 is something like the top of what has been a huge upward sales market here? Well, not according to Zillow. It's dubbed the Dallas market, quote, cool. And I don't think they mean that it's really cool as in cool and sexy. I think what they're talking about is cool in the sense that it's cooling. It's also calling for a 7.5% rise in the median home price this year, and that's only half the 14% rise last year. But it still means that it's on an upward trajectory. Okay, look, I don't know how else to put this to you, okay? The market is going up in many places. That's true, okay? But you have to start to recognize there is a point where you don't have enough inventory. Let's talk about why this is going on. It says the reason for this is simple. There are jobs here, and this, speaking of Dallas and North Dallas, that area, and tens of thousands of people are still moving to the area to land these jobs. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that 102,500 new jobs were created in 2018 in the Dallas area. That helped cut the local unemployment rate to 3.3% as the story was going to print, lower than the 3.9% national average. There are 3.7 million people in the area going to work every day now. Now, when you think about this, if they've got a lot of people moving into that area and they've got a lot of jobs that are going on, then of course, home prices are going to go up. Okay. Now, according to Jim Gaines, the chief economist at the Real Estate Center of Texas A&M at Dallas-Fort Worth, he says that the Dallas-Fort Worth areas, the home prices are probably still going to go up, but they're going to go up not as fast. Okay. In economic terms, they call it reversion to norm. All right. The market's going back to the normal pace of activity. And instead of being in a state of exuberance where prices go up 10, 12, 14% annually, they're going to return to about 3 or 4%. For homeowners, that seems like good news because the demand is still out there. Okay. But then you've still got this issue about all these homes still for sale. Right? I mean, if there's still home for sale, you got people like the Vogels looking at this, they're going to say, well, gosh, how is this any different than what it was in 2008? Okay, well, let's address that. As every, I'm going to read in the article here, as every Econ 101 student knows or ought to know, when demand is high and supply is low, okay, that's North Texas right there. You got high demand, hundreds of thousands of new jobs, people wanting to live in the area. Supply is low. All right, you got a lot of upper end properties perhaps, but maybe some lower end, but not a whole lot of in the middle. Okay. And when you have a lot of that going on, okay, what ends up happening is the prices start to go up, but sales are not going up, right? That's the important difference. This is where agents start to get screwed up and mixed up, and investors tend to forget. Just because the prices are going up does not mean sales are going up. Here's what I mean. This is just as true in Dallas as it is in your town and mine. Okay? In January, there were about 15,254 homes listed for sale in a part of the Dallas area that includes Plano and other northern communities, and like Irving and other western cities. Okay. In April, there were about 18,000 homes for sale. Now, January, 15,000. April, 4 months later, 3,000 more homes. Okay. That's an extra 3,000, 3 months worth of inventory. Meaning that, it's that absorption rate, meaning if no other new homes came on the market for the next 3 months, the existing level of demand would consume all the current listings and there'd be no more homes left to buy. It would take you maybe 3.5 months to go through all that. And the problem is that there's new listings coming on the market every single day, including for new homes. As a matter of fact, Dallas leads the nation in the number of new homes that are under construction. In 2018, construction began on 34,523 new homes there. That's almost 3% higher than the year it was before. Houston ranked second only to Dallas with 30,000. No other city reached 30,000 home starts, as they're called. Now, even though they still have all of this, even though they have all this new construction, they have all these homes that are currently for sale, even though they have all that, they still only have, hello?
The mailbox is full and cannot accept any messages at this time. Goodbye.
They still have 3 months worth of inventory on the property, on properties, okay? And that's well down from levels that they'd seen earlier. So supply super tight, demand super high. So why are sales flat? And why are the price increases slowing? See what I'm saying? Think this through. I'm going to try and say it slowly. You've got inventory, and it's just like in my market, just like in yours, okay? Inventory, it's not like it's super high. Maybe it's lower than it's been in years. Okay? And maybe, just like Tucson, you know, you got people wanting to move here from Raytheon. We got a new Amazon plant coming in. I mean, Tucson is a huge hub of growth too. So we got a lot of demand from Air Force Base and the military, and a lot of people coming and moving here in Tucson. We have home growth. We have a lot of, domestic starts, a lot of new housing starts. We don't have 30,000, obviously, but we'd have quite a few. But yet, even though high demand, low inventory, sales are flat. And the price increases aren't really as big as they used to be. And if anything, maybe in some places they're going down. Why? How do you explain this? Well, it's called price fatigue. Price fatigue. If you've never heard of this phrase before, price fatigue is where the buyer looks at the market and says, you know what? This is just ridiculous. This is just too damn high. Okay? I mean, there's no other way to put it. Hello?
Please leave your message.
They look at the marketplace, okay, and they say, you know what? This is just, the market's just too damn high. I'd sell my home, but what would I buy? I mean, I'd buy a little shack over here. Or I wouldn't be able to afford what I have now. See what I'm saying? Price fatigue. Hi, this is Carl. How are you? Price fatigue. That's why you'll see a lot of properties when your sellers are saying to you, well, gosh, how come my home isn't selling? I've dropped the price. It's been on the market for all this time. How come it's not selling? Price fatigue. That's the way the market is right now. You've got a slowing in the market. It does not mean it's crashing, does not mean it's collapsing, does not mean you got to go ahead and start selling all your possessions and buying gold. No, what that means is that the housing market is starting to slow, it's starting to normalize. Even though the market has come down as far as the interest rates, I mean, that's not sufficiently caused people.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message.
That's not sufficiently caused people to say, you know what, I need to get out there and buy a house right now. I mean, that's just not happening. People are not typically thinking to themselves, what? The market, what's this? I can get an interest rate of 3.8 with 0.5% origination. But well, geez Louise, let me go ahead and buy that right now. Why? Because they're in a sales mentality. They think it's going to be less next week. People don't have perspective of what the market's like. They don't have perspective on what this market is truly capable of, because they've always seen for the last 6-7 years a market that's gone up and up and up and up and up. And this is why, if you're a real estate agent trying to get a listing, if you're a real estate broker trying to get your price reductions, if you're a home wholesaler and you're trying to get a lower price so you can buy this property at a cost that's going to make sense, well, that's why you're having problems. Completely why you're having problems. Add to this OpenDoor. They're coming in and they're making offers on properties that you can't match, you can't afford. And you're like, what are they thinking? And you look at them, guess what? 50 people get laid off. Now, I'm not saying that OpenDoor is having problems. No. I mean, layoffs happen all the time and relocations happen for streamlining and all that. This happens all the time. But this is something that people need to be aware of, it, even though it may, Jesus,
Please leave your message for
even though it may look good on paper and it may sound good and all that, the ability to maintain that is going to be very difficult. Okay. Do not fear the OpenDoors, the Zillows, the Redfins, the whatevers. Don't fear any of that because the market is changing. And when the market changes, a lot of funky stuff happens. Funky, wonky stuff happens. What do I mean by funky, wonky stuff? Okay, well, funky, wonky stuff is people make decisions based on fear. People make decisions.
2 0 3 3.
People make decisions based on necessity that was not predictable. Your computer algorithms that your fancy computer at OpenDoor could predict market opportunities and gaps in terms of price is never going to be able to trump the person who's able to communicate with a bunch of people and talk to them and find out what the problem is. Right? If you're a practitioner in the market and you're looking for individual motivation and mistakes, well, then you're going to find yourself in a place where you're able to go ahead and capitalize on that simply because you were able to go ahead and know about that information. And it didn't matter what the gap was. It didn't matter what the algorithm said. Because why? Because you knew what the market was doing. Why? Because you're paying attention. You see what's happening in Dallas, the price fatigue that's going on, and you think to yourself, well, gosh, that sounds a lot like my place. This sounds a lot like where I live. Right? Think about price fatigue. The article says there's been some price fatigue, Gaines says. People are looking at what they're being asked to pay, and there's a little bit more resistance from buyers. If they're not getting exactly what they want, they're not buying it at all. Right? Little wonder then, when 61% of Dallas area residents, an increasing number of whom are young people in early phases of their careers, are now renters and not owners. 61% of the Dallas area residents are renters, not owners. Why? Because when they go out in the marketplace, they try to find something they want to buy. The seller is asking far too much for it. And the buyer says, gosh, if it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, you're asking all this exorbitant price, but it doesn't have everything I want. Forget it. I'll just rent because I don't have to deal with the dogs. I don't have to deal with the grass. I don't have to deal with whatever. Right? Says that Jeff Duffy, who runs Jeff Duffy and Associates, a real estate firm. Shout out to Jeff. Shout out to you, Jeff, for giving a paper a quote there. Good for you, Jeff Duffy, who runs Jeff Duffy and Associates, a real estate firm that handles both existing and new home sales in Dallas. Give them a shout out. Make sure you stop by if you're in Dallas. Tell them I told them a hi. Thinks that, quote, too many sellers believe Dallas is experiencing a boom market that gives them total control over pricing. For example, he says, 2 or 3 years ago, it was hard to find many homes in North Dallas that were listed between $400,000 and $600,000. 2 or 3 years ago. We're talking what? 2015, 16, right? 2 or 3 years ago, it was hard to find many homes in North Dallas that were listed between $400,000 and $600,000. Now, I can show someone homes for 5 straight weekends and still not go through all the active listings in that price range. Hello. Sellers who have overpriced their homes or think they don't need to go through the trouble to fix up their homes for sale are watching their properties sit on the market. Buyers don't want these homes and they don't need them. Kudos to you, Jeff. Kudos to you. He is the broker of the day in my mind. Kudos to him for speaking that hot truth. We need to have more agents in the marketplace right now, like Jeff Duffy at Jeff Duffy and Associates in Dallas, who will go in there and speak the truth to sellers and tell them, look, I can go and show someone 5 straight weekends, Saturday, Sunday, all day, take them to lunch, take them to Chick-fil-A on Saturday, take them to Mexican on Sunday. I can show them all the properties and still not get through all the active listings in that price range. There's tons of them out there. That's like land in Tucson. It's everywhere, right? Sellers, if you're not overpricing, if you're overpricing your homes and you're not going to repair it, and you think, well, you know, if they don't want to take it as is, well, then I'm just going to keep it. Well, guess what? The buyers don't want your home. Hello. This is a hard concept for sellers to get through their noggin. And you as a real estate agent, you as a real estate investor need to get that clear. Okay. They think, we used to have an expression back in the day, sellers want the price as though it was 2005. Buyers want it as though it was 1925, like the Depression, right? When you think about this, okay, the reason why these homes aren't selling is because the sellers have not been adequately informed about the values of their home and the situation their home is currently in. That's cut and dry what the problem is. The article says, but some potentials may also simply not be able to afford what's on the market in many neighborhoods. Since 2012, prices in the Dallas market are up more than 60%. Good Lord. Fitch Ratings, a credit analysis firm, says that the Dallas market is one of the more overvalued in the country. Hello. Overvalued in the country, and that prices are 15% higher than they should be based on the growth of the area's population, income, and average rental prices. The median income in North Texas has gone up a lot in 10 years, jumping from $58,000 to $67,382. That's 16%. Median home prices in the same time, however, are up 70%. Your pay in that area went up 16%. The houses went up 70%, right? There's a whole bunch of houses now that are priced in a higher price points that a lot of people just can't afford. That's what Paige Shipp says. She's the regional director for the Dallas-Fort Worth for Metro Study. It's a real estate research firm, right? The National Association of Home Builders, they've been in there crunching numbers that tell the same story on affordability here. Right? The National Association of Home Builders they put together their quarterly housing opportunity index, right? That's just simply the ranking of percentage of total homes for sale that are considered to be affordable for the typical family. All right. Now in Dallas, 10 years ago, okay, the Home Builders Association index found that 75% of the homes were affordable. That rating increased a year later, peaking at 79% in the first quarter of 2010. So in 2010, 79.9% of all the homes that were for sale or available in that area were available or what would be considered to be affordable. Well, I wonder what's happened since 2010. Well, let's see. In recent years, it's sunk to 45.2% in the second quarter of 2018 and slightly rebounding to 52% in the first quarter of this year. Affordability is not just a big problem in Dallas. It's a major issue in many markets today. Okay. San Francisco, Oakland, San Diego, California, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Florida, you name it. Okay. The problem is the National Affordability Index is 61%, which is still higher than the affordability than Dallas. Meaning that most areas of the country, like San Francisco, still have a higher than Dallas ability to afford their property. And builders have started to address these buyer concerns about affordability by putting thousands of new homes up, priced between $250,000 to $350,000. Right, a quarter of all the new construction in the area in Dallas is new construction. All right. A quarter of all new home construction in the Dallas area is in that price range between $250,000 to $350,000. All right. Now, here's the thing. When you think about it, Just because the property is coming up does not mean that it's actually selling. And that's the problem that people are facing in that area. So you got to understand, how is that going to translate into your marketplace? And I think what you'll discover is that if it's happening in Dallas, it's not inconceivable that it could happen where you are as well. All right, so we've called through all the for rent by owners. We've called through all the expireds and canceleds. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call through a new group here. I'm going to use the geo leads section here. Now the geo leads is an area that you can call around just listed, just solds, right? You can call around properties that have just been sold and look for properties that are available for sale. What I've done here is on this particular property, it's sold in a day. It was an investment type property. Another agent had sold this. It's at 4547 North J Avenue here in Tucson. It sold for $155,000. It was a 1,296 square foot place, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, sold in a single day. It was an investment type property. And so what we're going to do is we're going to call the 50 or so properties, the 100 or so properties that are around it that have been owned for more than 5 years. And so we're going to see what we can find as far as potential leads from there. Now, remember,
call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
So we're going to leave a voicemail. Remember, we're going through this.
Hello, this is Steve Bartlett with American Family.
Leave a message. We're going to go through these 3 at a time. The phone, as we're talking, is just dialing 3 at a time. That way I can just easily contact everybody I need to quickly. That makes it very fast if you're out there calling. Now, I recognize that many people might be listening to the podcast or watching the YouTube video and say, well, gosh, you're not setting an appointment. Sometimes I don't see you set an appointment. That's certainly true. And many times it happens.
Hello?
Hi, Javier. Hi, is this Javier?
No, it isn't.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I might have the wrong number. I apologize. I was looking for the hung up on me. All right, no worries. Keep moving. Many times what happens is, probably more often than not, I mean, you'll set an appointment, occasionally with for sale by owners and expireds and cancels initially on the phone. But many times what will happen is they'll call you back.
Hello.
Especially if you leave a message like that particular fellow right there. I just left a message with him saying, hey, I have a real estate matter I'd like to discuss with you. I was considering making an offer on a property near you, or I've got a couple different messages that I choose. But that way the phone can keep dialing and spit that message into their message box. And what ends up happening is many times,
Sorry, the person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
You know how it is. You get an unknown call. Sometimes you're like, I don't know about that. And you decline the call, right? Then it goes to voicemail. And when it goes to voicemail,
Mr. Brooks?
Hey, Brooke, Carl Krenzel, how are you?
Good. I'm sorry, who is that?
No problem. My name's Carl Krenzel. I was just calling you real quick. I'm a broker over here at Sotheby's International Realty. I buy property, and I wanted to give you some good news. There was a property that was just sold down the way from you at 4547 North J. Do you guys still own that property on J?
Yeah, but I'm not interested in doing anything with it right now.
Oh, I know you're. Yeah, no, I know you're not. I was just giving you a quick call to let you know about that property because some of the neighbors like to know what the homes are selling for. That particular property just sold in a day. It needed a lot of work. I don't know if you're familiar with it. It's just a couple doors down from you, but it needed a lot of work. It was a 1,296 square foot place with 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It sold for $155,000. It's a little bit smaller than yours. This one was only 1,296 square feet. Do you, by the way, happen to know of anybody else in that neighborhood I need to talk to who might be considering just taking a cash offer on an unwanted property?
I don't.
Okay.
I know the property across the street from me, they're getting ready to sell, but I think they're doing it on their own. I don't think they want to list it.
Well, that's okay. I don't want to list it either. I want to buy it.
Yeah, that's the only one I know, but yeah, I don't really know anybody else in the neighborhood.
Okay, no problem. Well, listen, I'll give them a jingle then. And have you considered selling your property at all?
No.
Okay, great. Well, listen, I hope you have a great day and stay out of this heat, okay?
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
you always want to make sure you toss in, especially on a just listed or just sold type call. And have you considered selling your property at all? Right? There's a couple different ways you could approach the problem.
Hello, this is Jeremy.
Hey, Jeremy, Carl Krenzel, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm better than I deserve. Thank you. I think I have the wrong number, though. Do you happen to know anything about a property here in Tucson on Zinnia Street?
I do not.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Yeah, I thought I might have the wrong number. I noticed it's a 480 number. I was kind of taking a chance. So do you know anything about Gloria Lowenthal or any property here in Tucson at all?
The only thing I know about Gloria Lowenthal is I bought a house that went to foreclosure of hers that was in Eager, Arizona. Other than that, I don't know anything about the woman.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time and I wish you nothing but success. You have a great day. Okay.
Yep. Have a great day. Yep.
Thank
Bye.
you. Take care. Bye-bye. All right. All right. And resume. All right. So let's briefly talk the 13 reasons the U.S. market is stronger than you may have suspected, right? This is coming to us from Yahoo Finance. This is from a report from Black Knight, right? Black Knight replaced...
call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 520-705-359
Come on.
9 is not a...
There we go. All right. Resume. Okay, so let's talk about the 13 reasons the U.S. market, real estate market, is stronger than you think. So Black Knight, they're a data company. They put out some of the most important housing numbers in housing and finance, and they released their May 2019 data. Right. So let's talk about their conclusions. A few of their 13 conclusions. Their first batch of conclusions as to why the economy is stronger than you might think is that the delinquencies and foreclosures themselves are down. So the first 6-7 points I think that they bring up. First point is that mortgage delinquencies, loans that are 30 or more days past due but not in foreclosure, are down 3% in May. Okay, so people, the amount of people who are behind in their mortgage or delinquent by 30 days, down. There's not as many as there were in May, right? Second point, delinquencies themselves are at their lowest. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi. My name's Carl Krenzel. How are you today? Miss Osuna? Rats. Okay. All right, resume. There we go. So delinquent.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me okay this time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. My phone was acting up. I apologize. My name is Carl Krenzel. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I was looking for Ricky. He owns a property over there on Alicia Avenue. Is that your property, Mr. Lebsack?
On Alicia Avenue?
Yes, sir. Do you own a property over there on Alicia?
Number one, you're speaking to Mr. Buster.
Oh, geez. Okay.
And the property on Alicia Avenue I used to own.
Oh.
4510.
Uh-huh. Yes, that's the one.
I used to own it, but that's been 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Eons ago. Well, good for you. Okay, well, no problem. All right. Well, listen, since I got you here anyway, do you happen to know of anybody else who might have some unwanted property that they might consider selling for cash since I got you here?
No.
Okay.
Not right offhand, I don't.
All
I'm
right.
looking for some of that myself.
I hear you. I hear you.
So if you get an overflow, call me back. Keep my number because I'm looking for some of that myself.
I hear you, brother. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time. Sorry for the wrong number, and you have a great day, okay? Thank you. Bye-bye. all respect to that fellow. But realistically speaking, I get asked that question a lot by people. They say, well, gosh, if you come across.
Hello.
Oh, hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Fine.
I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I was looking for the Baumsteigers. They own some property over there on Hansa Drive. Is that your property, sir?
Yes.
Perfect. Well, the reason why I called is we just recently got a property sold not far from you over there on J Avenue. It was 4547 J Avenue. Need a little bit of work. Sold it in a day. It was $155,000 for a fix-up property. It was 1,296 square feet. Still looking to buy something in that area. Do you happen to know of anybody in that area who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
Not offhand, I don't.
No worries. And have you considered selling your property at all?
No.
I don't blame you. That's a great little area over there. A lot of folks love it. So, about how long y'all lived there?
Been here since 75.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I bet you've seen a ton of changes, huh?
Yes, we have.
Holy cow! That house was built in what, 64? I mean, that was like nothing there back then. Where'd y'all move from? Were you here in town back then?
No, moved from Michigan.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, how'd you end up all the way out here?
Weather making me feel better.
Yeah, I don't blame you. That brings a lot of people out here. So, all right. Well, listen, since I got you here anyway, if you were to move, where do you think you'd go next?
To heaven, I hope.
Oh, well, I believe that will happen. All right. Well, listen, I'll be praying for you, and let's hope that's
moving. I got too much junk to get rid of.
Well, let's pray your move to be with Jesus is a good long time away. Okay.
I hope so. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. So, boom. Okay. Hang up on that. And see here. Wrong number. Delete that one. Resume. Okay, good deal. Back to the 13 reasons. Let's see here. So delinquencies, it said they were the lowest level since January of 2000, right? That's.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl. How are you today?
I'm all right.
I was calling about a property that you might own over there on Hansa Drive. Is that your property?
No.
Oh, gosh. Okay, I might have the wrong number then. I apologize. I was looking for the Kellys, the Kelly residence.
It belongs to Gene Kelly.
Oh, okay. Okay, no problem. Well, the reason why I asked is we just got a property that sold not far from them on J Avenue, 4547. It was just a street or so down. And it just came on the market for one day, sold in a day. It was a fix-up property, $155,000 for a 1,200 square foot place. It needed a little bit of work. Do you happen to know of anybody in that area who might be open to an all-cash offer closing in 30 days on an unwanted home?
I really don't.
Okay, no problem. Do you know if they would consider selling that property on Hansa?
I'm sure they're not.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, I appreciate your time, and I hope you have a great day, okay? Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete his number, but I'm going to count him as a contact. So I delete him as a number because I don't want to contact him back, and he's not the property decision maker on that property. So I'm going to delete him, and I'm going to count him as a contact because I asked him if he'd know of anybody else who had unwanted property. So for me, a contact counts as somebody who is a decision-making adult who answers the phone and you ask them a sales question of, right? So kids don't count. People who hang up on you, they count if you ask them a question, they hang up on you. So there's a lot of rules to that game as far as I'm concerned. That way you can keep accurate count of how many people it really takes for you to make business happen. And remember, this is just like pumping a well. I keep telling people, like, if you're a kid like I was growing up in the Midwest, in the Midwest, you had pumps sometimes for water. You had to pump this thing 3, 4, 5, 6 times before any water would come out. And that's exactly the way it is with prospecting. Prospecting is a
It's been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 5, 2,
prospecting is a 90-day cycle. Okay, it's all the things you're doing now are going to pay off in 90 days. Okay, you might not set an appointment today. You might give your phone number to somebody who gives that phone number to somebody else who calls you and sets an appointment for tomorrow. Like that's what happened for me. Or you might set an appointment for next week on Saturday, like I did, right? Who knows? But the point is, as long as you're out there working, trying to spread the fact that you're buying and selling property, okay, all the time, then that's going to help you in your business. So the 13 reasons, the delinquencies, lowest level since January 2000. That's a huge thing, right? Delinquencies, a lot of people are in with their mortgage, right? 39,000 foreclosure starts. That's the lowest amount there's been in 18 years. 18 years since 2001. Okay. 39,000 foreclosure starts. That's the lowest number we've had in 18 years. How about this one? Number of loans in
The number 520
Hang on a minute.
792
See,
4237
wrong number.
is in service. Please try your call again. 520 79.
Okay. Resume. There we go. How about this one? The number of loans in active foreclosure is the lowest it's been in 13 years. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, good morning. This is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Who is this?
My name is Carl. I'm not sure if I have the right person. I was looking.
Carl.
Yeah, hi. I'm not sure if I have the right people. I was looking for the Barracks. They own some property over there on Hansa Drive. Have I got the right people?
I'm sorry. Who are you, honey?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Carl Krenzel. I was calling because there was a property that just sold just a couple doors down from their property on Hansa. There's a property at 4547J that sold. It sold for 155, and I missed out on it. It was a property that needed some work. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Sold for 155 in just a day. Do you happen to know of anybody in that area right there who's got an unwanted home that I could buy for cash?
No, I don't.
Okay, no problem.
There's nobody listed on our street. There is one behind us that's a mobile,
Right.
not a house.
Okay, no problem. And have you folks considered selling your home at all?
No, we do not wish to. We're up to the age we're not moving again.
I don't blame you. That's a beautiful area. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me, and you have a wonderful day. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. 13 reasons again. Number of loans in active foreclosure, the lowest in 13 years, right? 9 states, however, did see increases in their delinquencies, such as Mississippi and Nebraska. Okay. Expensive real estate markets such as San Francisco, San Jose, and Seattle have the lowest delinquency rates.
To an automatic voice
Something to think about, right?
Is not available.
Okay, that doesn't look to
At
be
the
the right
tone,
person.
Please record your message.
Let's see here. All right. Let's see. Yeah, when you think about it, San Francisco, San Jose, and Seattle, you would think would have a pretty serious delinquency rate because of their pricing and the way that things are. But, you know, the markets are very strong. Hello? Della?
Hello?
Oh, hi. Is this Della?
No.
Oh my goodness, I might have the wrong person. I apologize. I was looking for Della Ochoa. She owns a property on Alicia Avenue. Have I got the right place?
Who is this?
My name's
What do you want?
Yeah, my name's Carl Krenzel. I was wanting to see if I could buy that house on Alicia. Have you considered selling it?
Nope, you sure can't.
Oh, what a shame. No problem. Well, you want to hear some good news? There was a property that just sold. You don't want to hear it. Okay, fine. Boom shakalaka. All right. 13 reasons. Here we go. However, This is something to keep in mind. It says, however, early stage delinquencies. All right. This is 6 months after the loan closes.
Hello.
Hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
I'm sorry?
My name is Carl Krenzel. How are you?
Good.
I'm not sure if I have the right person. I was looking for the owners of a property over there on Alicia Avenue. Is that your property?
No.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Do you know anything about Diane Whitmore or the property at 4450 North Alicia Avenue?
No, I do not know a Diane Whitmore.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I got way off. Then I apologize.
Somebody threw the wrong phone number.
Yeah, no problem. Since I got you here anyway, do you happen to know anybody who's got an unwanted home I could buy for cash?
Not right now.
Okay. All right.
My family's going to be moving to Tahoe, but that's going to be months away.
No problem. About how long do you feel when you say months? Are we talking like 6 months, 9 months? How long is months away?
Yeah, at least 6.
Okay. And you said you're moving to Cabo, did you say?
Lake Tahoe.
Oh, Lake Tahoe. Wow, even better. Even better. Okay. Yeah. Have you got some property here in Tucson that you're going to be selling?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I buy property here in town, and I'm also a real estate broker. What part of town is your property in?
Cardinal Valencia, Southwest.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's the kind of area that I buy in. How many bedrooms, baths does it have?
3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you.
But like I said, Ben, we're several months away from making that move.
Well, what I was thinking is, why don't I do this? This is your cell phone?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I don't mind. Why don't I do this? I'll just shoot, if it's okay with you, I'll just shoot over to you my cell phone information. That way you have it handy. And then, in a few months, when things are looking like you might want to get an offer on that property and maybe just get it sold, give me a jingle. You know what I mean? And then maybe we can find a way to get that done for you.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm sorry, my name was Carl. I forgot your name. What was your name?
John.
John. All right, John. Pleasure to meet you. And I'll send that over right away. Okay.
All right.
Thanks, brother. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Right. Take care.
Okay. Now listen, so as you can imagine, right? What are we doing? We're sending the text again that we talked about with this other guy, the Prezi presentation. Now, why are we sending this? Okay, well, one useful thing about lead follow-up that you'll want to know, right? People say one thing and do another. So, for example, when people say that they're going to do something in 6 months or so, more often than not, what really happens is they do it in about half that time. So if they're saying, well, we're going to consider listing or interviewing agents in 2 months, well, then chances are they're going to do something in a month. If they say they're going to do it in 2 weeks, chances are they're going to do it in a week, right? So when this guy says, I'm going to do something in 6 months, I read that to mean he's going to do it in 3 months. And as you can see with the Prezi presentation, I just sent it to him if you're watching on YouTube. You can see how he's got a iPhone and how it opens up right here in the Prezi presentation automatically on an iPhone. You can see it right there. So when he sees that, that's going to be something like, oh, okay. And then he can see exactly how the process works, how I go about buying property, and it will give him a better opportunity to call me later. Is this a guarantee? No. But is it a possibility? Perhaps. So it's something we want to consider. Let's continue with our examination here of what's going on in the marketplace. Let's see. 13 reasons. Early stage delinquencies 6 months after loan closes are rising. Now, they put this down in Yahoo Finance as a positive sign, but it's something to be aware of. Yeah, I think it's a big thing to be aware of. If you're seeing that people in early stages of buying their property in the first 6 months are starting to go delinquent, and that's a rise, that's starting to happen, that's a problem, right? Let's look at some of the other reasons why they say the market's healthy. 4 reasons here talking about refinancing. At the end of June, hi, this is Carl Krenzel. How are you today?
Good. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm not sure if I have the right person. I apologize. I was looking for the Fredgrins. They own some property on Southbrook. Is that your property?
No, it's not.
Oh, gosh, I got the wrong person. Okay, well, gosh, I'm sorry. Have a great day, okay?
All right.
Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye. I didn't ask him if he knew anything about it because he was out of state. Plus, the property on Southbrook that we were calling about looks to be like a manufactured home, if it's the one I'm thinking of. Let's see here. Decline that. Okay.
You have reached the voicemail box of 20136.
Hang up. No answer. Okay. Resume. Okay, 13 reasons, talking about 4 of them being about refi, right? One of them. At the end of June, 8.2 million homeowners were eligible for refinancing. Okay, so as of July 1st, 8.2 million homeowners across the United States were eligible for refinancing. And this is the largest number of refinance candidates since 2016. Okay, now there were 6.3.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet.
Press resume. There we go. This is 6.3 million more refi candidates than there were when interest rates peaked in November of 2018. Right? 35% of the borrowers who took out mortgage in 2018 could save 0.75 of a point off their first lien rate. So a couple different things going on here with these 4 points that they're bringing up. First, there's a lot more people eligible for refinancing.
This is Dan. Leave your name and a number, and I'll call you back as soon as I can.
That was their first point there, right? Out of the refinance category. Okay. That there's more people available for refinance, and that there's second, the interest rates that people.
The person you were trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up
That when
yet.
people bought their
Please try
property,
your call again later. Goodbye.
when people bought their property in the past, the interest rates have gone down enough to where they're able to go ahead and now qualify for a loan or qualify for a refi that would save them the money. Inequality of hello? Hello? All right. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hang up right here. I better go ahead and make a couple changes here with the dialer that's going on. But guys, I appreciate you paying attention. I hope this has been helpful, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.